Now, we're going to talk about predominantly email cold outreach because that is the fastest way to create awareness and to get in front of someone. However, what I want you to think about is the terminology that people would say is copywriting, right? The way you write things, whether or not it's a landing page or what have you, is copywriting. And that can be confusing because people think, copywriting, you got a book, a copywriting infringement, that type of thing. So they're two total different things, but it can kind of confuse some people. I know it's confused me in the past. So what is copywriting as it pertains to what we're going to talk about today? Change the wording from copywriting to sales copy. Okay, so think of it this way. It's copy, it's writing, it's emails, it's newsletters, it's this type of thing that's designed to persuade, to create awareness and persuade someone to do something. So it's an art form. And so what we're going to talk about today is how do we do this on a massive scale? Now, there's basically two ways to look at this. You're either representing a small geographical area, so meaning that you might have a territory, maybe you have a large set of accounts and you're targeting 10, 15, 20 accounts specifically in your territory to try to get new business. And so that has a different kind of process, if you will, than if you are going on a massive scale. So if all of United States of America is your target, then you have a massive pool to draw from, and you have to try to do things and implement processes that are going to allow you to scale, right? So there's those two ones. So the smaller ones, smaller territories, you're allowed to have able to put a little bit more personal touch into it. Whereas if it's a larger scale, you need to utilize tools that can help you appear that you're doing that. So regardless, we're going to talk about those. Now, who are we targeting? That's what we want to talk about, right? So I want you to think about who are we targeting and who are you going to target. So your messaging is going to be different if you're targeting one particular industry versus another industry. If you're targeting commercial cleaning industries, as an example, it's going to be different than if you're targeting education. They have different pain points. Now, you can put everybody in similar segments based on some universal outcomes or concerns or pain points they might have. So that's possible, but we want to be as specific as possible. And so that's what we're going to utilize today. So we're going to look at, assuming that we are going after commercial cleaning companies and we are a janitorial supply company, meaning we sell supplies for a living. That's what we do. And we're trying to get in front of commercial cleaning companies, people that actually clean and use your products on an everyday basis. So we're going to use that, and we're going to use the qualifier as $1 million. Okay, so $1 million commercial cleaning company. Now, you might, in your territory, focus on $200,000 or $5 million, what have you. So, but this is going to be the example for today. So what we want to talk about is what are their pain points, okay? So the way to do this is we want to do it as fast as possible, and we want to create a template to work with. So you're going to want to have ChatGPT open, okay? So you're going to want to get ChatGPT, and you're going to want to have some type of document, okay? Some type of Word document, regardless of what that might be, okay? So it might be I have Canva. It might be a whiteboard. It might be a Google Doc, a Google Sheet, whatever. It doesn't matter. But you want to have something. So what we're going to do is we're going to start looking at ChatGPT and have it help us. So we are going to focus on $1 million commercial cleaning companies, right? That's what the thing is today. So we want to go into our ChatGPT and we want to say, type, I work with more than $1 million commercial cleaning companies, okay, to help them. What are we going to do, right? We're going to help them reduce we're bleeding profits because we're out of control labor costs. Okay, we keep losing contracts, lowballers who deliver garbage services. Our sales are stagnant because we rely too much on referrals. Right, our overhead is crushing us because cutting costs feels like risking quality. And clients expect the world but want to pay pennies. Using these pain points, come up with. So now what it's doing is creating the desired outcomes to the pain points that was discussed. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're building a strategy, but it's the important work because this is going to help us just do and scale and create multiple messages as we get to the end here. So we're going to copy this. We're going to go to so now we have our pain points. So let's look at these sort of the desired outcomes. Okay, so here are the polarizing desired outcomes. Okay, so we're going to start with number 1. So we want predictable, profitable labor costs, not a constant cash drain. They want a rock solid workforce without endless headaches. They need workers who show up, do the job right, and don't nickel and dime them. Right. So we want to take this information and we're going to utilize it as a way to then position ourselves and our products and the outcomes we deliver to make interesting. So now what we want to do is we're going to go back to ChatGPT and we want to say, using the above, make it 2 sentences. Okay, so let's see what we get. So what we're doing is we're fine-tuning the desired outcomes to make it, sweet and precise. So now what we have is we have this long-winded thing here down into actual manageable information that we're going to be able to put in our marketing. And now we have our 2-sentence desired outcomes. Okay, so now we have the pain points, desired outcomes, and we've condensed it now to some manageable sentences. So now what we want to do is we're going to go back to ChatGPT, and we want to make this kind of tangible. So what do I mean by that? We want to create a framework, a process, some type of mechanism that we can take our information in and make it a framework or something tangible, steps, processes, because that way we can sell it. We have something that we can talk to them about. So let's go back in here, and we want to go give me 5 options for a unique framework, steps, etc. So let's see what it comes up with. So you can see what it's doing. It's just creating a process. We can use them however we want. Okay, it's creating frameworks. So we got the CASH, capture high client value, automate sales outreach, streamline operations, high profit delivery. Okay, we get the C.A.S.H, right? And then using CLEAN as an acronym. That's fantastic. Cut costs, lock in premium clients, elevate the streams. So now we've got something we're going to sell here, right? We're going to make it a process. And so you can see there's some awesome steps here. Here you see we have the 7-figure ops. We have the win big, right? Win big, an acronym. We have the CLEAN. We have the CASH. We have lean. Okay, so these are just potential mechanisms that we can kind of put into, we have this process, we have this mechanism, we have this framework, we have this system that that you can do. Okay, because information is a commodity. We need to condense it and make it sexy. So now that we've done this, what we want to do is go back to our ChatGPT and we're going to come back to create one document pillar. Okay, so let's see what we get up here. So you can see that it's the information, ideal customer, 1 million commercial cleaning companies, right? It's got current situation. Where are they now? It's going to give me 10 things of where they are now. Okay, so now we have the ideal customer profile. We have their 10 outcomes, the current situation, the pain points, and the desired outcomes. So we're going to put this into our document. And you see right here, we have our avatar profile. Okay, so we have our avatar profile. We have their current situations. We have the desired outcomes. Okay, and we have their pain points. So now we have our avatar profile, our ideal customer profile of $1 million commercial cleaning companies. Okay, so now what we want to do is we're going to start thinking about and creating the fun part, the outreach, the content. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to move to the subject line. Okay, so we've gotten the 5 steps so far, right? We now have the avatar profile condensed with their current situation, their pain points, and the desired outcomes. So now those are the first 5 steps to kind of get it all together. Now, as far as creating and executing, it's 6 steps. So a total of 11, but 6 steps. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go and get the subject line. Now, the subject line is the most important part. Okay, the subject line is it's the hair and makeup. The subject line is the book cover. The subject line is the thing that's going to create intrigue and interest. Okay, we want this to come across as somebody that they may or may not know. Okay, if we have, can you tell me who I should speak to? Can you 10% discount, whatever, in your subject lines? That just screams cold call, massive, a blanket messaging, and you probably wouldn't respond to it, and I wouldn't either. But if it seems like it's personal, if it's intriguing, I might open it up. And that's what we want. We want somebody to open up the email. If you don't open up the email, then it's kind of everything we've talked about is pointless. So some of the things that work really good are thoughts. Okay, thoughts, just thoughts work really good. Their company name, that can be good. That one works really, really well. But what we want to do is we want to create interest, simplicity. Data suggests that 3 words or less is ideal. We don't want to make it too, right? And you can just have first name, right? So if their name is Bob, just Bob. And using in the email program that you use will automatically do that. That we'll talk about in the next session. So less words the better, but these are some examples of what you can do. Your company name, their company name, right? So CleanPro /JanPro, right? Whatever. So we have these down, and we need to come up with have a few. So what we use is we're going to copy this. We're going to go to ChatGPT, and we're going to say, give me 5 subject line for cold outreach that create intrigue similar to the following. So let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so here are some that it is offering. Again, these are okay. The thoughts, your name, first name, are the ones that will work best. But here we have some options that it's spoken of. So let's see what it comes up for you. These ones are okay, right? We want to create intrigue. But here we have their company name, your company name equals a win-win. Okay, a quick idea, their company name, first name, worth a chat. Let's talk. Something you'll want to see. They're not bad. I do like the thoughts, first name, and not that better. But regardless, those are options. You want to have options, right? Because you don't know what's going to work. You don't know what's going to attract somebody versus someone else. You might think you do, but there's no way to really know. It's only by testing that we're going to know. So we have our subject line. So now, here, what we want to do is create a personalized first line. The thing about the personalized is that if you are working and going for massive scale, you're going to have to use some tools like Instantly, as an example, which is going to help you create personalized messages at scale without you having to do massive research on every single company and going and actually finding something for each person. If you're in a smaller area, like we spoke about, then using Lead 360, you're doing 5, 6, 10, 15 cold outreaches a day per with your system, what have you, more than adequate. But personalized is good. Now, what can personalized be? It can be a website, reference to their website. Okay. It can be things about their LinkedIn profile. It can be industry, right? Industry. It can be about location, right? Something that's happened locally. So if they're in Colorado, something just happened with Colorado. Maybe a team there won a trophy or something. But get the gist. You're looking for things here. You could talk to them about their competition, right? Competition. Did you hear that your competitor just did this? Did you hear your competitor just did that? Right? Competition. So these are things that you can work on and you can look at that you want to create for personalization. But you're not always going to be able to do that because of the time and the scale. So you're going to want value proposition. What we want to do here is a great thing to think about. Way to do it is to have a statement. Okay, so you're going to go okay, value proposition. We value proposition for target market. So they can target market goal using our unique framework. So we want to create a value proposition for target market so they can target market goals using our unique mechanism. So if we go to our ChatGPT, we can now come in here and we can say, give me 5 value prop statements using the avatar and above. So let's see what it's going to give us. So let's look at these for a second. We help commercial cleaning companies slash labor costs and improve workforce efficiency so they can scale profitably without payroll headaches using our lean, mean growth system. We position $1 million cleaning companies to premium providers so they can win high-paying contracts and eliminate price wars using our cash method. Okay. We build automated sales pipelines for commercial cleaning companies so they generate consistent high-value contracts without relying on referrals using our C.A.S.H framework. We help commercial cleaning companies secure long, high-profit contracts so they can grow revenue predictably and scale without chaos using our 7-figure ops blueprint. So here we have our value proposition statement, but you can sit back and take a little bit more time and fine-tune it specifically to your programs and to your processes within your company. So now what we want to do is, now we've got the so we have our subject line, but now we have our structure. So we have our value proposition statement. The other thing we can do is just have like a one-liner, okay? A one-liner. And a one-liner works really well as well. So if we go to our one-liner, okay, we can go curious, right? Curious is one that works really, really well. And we go to our ChatGPT and it says, give me 10 opening lines that start with curious and asks about their current situation. So let's see what it comes up with. So again, you can fine tune these and make them specific to use. We're for this demonstration purpose, but you can see that you can fine tune these. So let's see what this. Let's see these. We'll go into our outbound. Whatever, our curious, our one-liner curious, and we gonna go add a text box. And here we go. So let's see what some of these say and what they're like. Curious, how are you managing rising labor costs without cutting into your margins? Curious, what's your biggest challenge when it comes to high-paying clients long term? Curious, are you finding it harder to compete against low-cost providers without sacrificing quality? So these things you can massage into and around the outcomes of your products, because at the end of the day, they're using your products to deliver an outcome. They're using it to improve indoor air quality, improve health and safety, reduce labor costs, all of these things. So you are not positioning yourself right now as a product peddling salesperson. They don't even know you sell products. They know that you help them. So curious, how do you keep your workforce engaged and productivity with turnover being so high in the industry? Okay, now all of these things, improving indoor air quality, health and safety, all these things improve reduction in turnover. So we can tie it all back. Okay, so we have our curious statements. Now we want to use one more. Okay, so go to ChatGPT. We're going to say, give me 10, using our avatar, 3 ideas based around the ability to health and safety, regulatory compliance, indoor air quality, reducing risk as it pertains to people, planet, profit. Okay, so here are some things. Had some ideas on you can improve indoor air quality to create a healthier work environment, implement regulatory compliance and avoid costly fines. Stay ahead of, okay? These are some good stuff. And you're gonna be able to pick and choose which ones you want. And again, you can fine tune this to your liking using ChatGPT as a guide to help create those ideas and then improve upon those ideas. So now what do we have? We have our subject lines. We have personalized intro, value proposition, one-liners, and value-driven. Had some idea statements. So these, okay, so now we get into the final step for the follow-up and having calls to action. So some potential calls to action which are good are can I send you a personalized video? Are you the right person to speak to, or is there someone else? Okay, we can go to about free audit. Free audit, right? Would you be open to a free or complimentary facility audit for some ideas on how you can get desired outcome? Okay, and finally, you can do a case study. So if you have any case studies, maybe it's maybe the case study is one of your associates that you can use them as a case study, as a reference, what have you, right? So case study, you could ask, could I shoot you over the exact strategy we used to help case study, right? So whatever the right, you want it to be their competitor, but you want it to be someone relevant. As an example, if it's a major university, you're not going to say that major university that all the students are studying at that university, but you could do a university that's 50 miles away. They're familiar with that university, what have you, but it's not a direct competitor, what have you. So you can do these types of closes. So on the personalized video, you can sit back and say, is it cool to send you over a video on how you can implement our framework? Okay, so now you have 5 potential closes with this. So and let's ask it to give some options here. Give me 5 options using my avatar, my client avatar. So let's paste that in and let's see. Okay, so here are some options that you can potentially use. So now we have 5 options that we can use. Again, you're going to want to ask the question specific to your industry and specific to your target market. But you can see that we have what we have here. Give me 5 alternatives. Is a better word. 5 alternatives. Paste. Perfect. Asking the right questions helps. So if you're not the right person for this, could you introduce me to the content, right? Boom. Here we go. So we paste these. We go into our file here, and there we have our 5 alternatives. Okay, on are you the right person? So let's move our case study over here and our free audit. So go to our chat PDT, say, give me 5 alternatives to this. So you see here, let's say, how about a free facility to optimize safety? Interested in a quick facility review? Okay, so again, you can fine tune these to be the way you want them, but you get the gist. Now what we have here, and the case study, I'll leave you to do the case study because it's personal for your work, and you would have one from companies that you've worked with or dealt with. So let's take a look at what we have here. Okay, so what we have here is we created our map, right? Our pain points, our desired outcomes, our avatar profile. So we have all that information done. Then we've put everything into the email process. Subject line. Okay, so we got our potential subject lines here. Okay, we have some personalized intros that you can do. We have our value proposition statement. We have our one-liners. We have our value-driven, right? And then we have our calls to action. Personalized video. Are you the person? Free audit. And from here, now we can create a strategy, an execution strategy. And we're going to use that and go over that in the next module, where we are now put this together and create some options. And then we're going to execute analogy and stuff like that to determine who is the person that we should spend our time to go after. So all we're trying to do with all of this is we're trying to get some people to put up their hand. That's what we're trying to do. We just want them to put up their hand and say, me. And that's the goal of this. And now once the person says me, okay, then we are going to execute it and have our follow-up. But we're going to tackle that in the next session.